So there are times when an anime clicks to me, and there are other times when an anime doesn't click to me. But for this anime review, I'm going to be talking about Future Diary. And Future Diary does click to me. So Future Diary is about a teenage boy named Yukiteri Yuki Amano, who's a total loner and spends most of his time writing a diary on his cell phone or talking with his imaginary friends, such as Deus Ex Machina, the god of space and time, and his servant Murmur. One day, Deus gives Yuki a special diary mentioning something about a game, and strangely, Yuki's new diary has entries in it spanning the next 90 days. So basically, entries about that future that will come true. So Deus reveals to be a not so imaginary god, and that he's actually the god of a real god of space and time. And then he forces Yuki to participate in a battle royale in which he must kill every other member and be the last one standing, or else the world will end on day 90. And only the last one standing can prevent the apocalypse and become the new god of space and time. So that, people, is we have our plot for Future Diary, also known as Mirai Nikki. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Kevin Ambrose, and I do anything comic book related and or anime and manga related, and I also do anime reviews, so be sure to subscribe to catch everything. And so we have our plot, but let's get into the details of the stories and character. We already have the story. Here are the characters. Now, Future Diary has a lot of characters, but I'm going to be talking about the two most important characters, which are Yukiteri Amano, who's first, and his girlfriend, Gasai Yuno, who's also a Future Diary holder, and is a contestant in this battle royale. So if you guys don't know what this battle royale is, it's basically just Hunger Games, except you kill the last one standing, you become God. So our main protagonist of this series is Yukiteri Amano. He's the main male protagonist of the series and the first diary user. He's also known as Doogie. He's a 14-year-old middle school student who's rather a quiet boy and does not talk much, and with behavior bordering on unsocial. So he's a very social outcast. He's not very sociable. He doesn't know how to socialize with people, and he's terrible at starting conversations. He mostly sees himself as a bystander and writes down in his cell phone diary, which I find to be kind of creepy, as he literally types up everything that happens every day. So like, if someone is getting bullied, he literally types that in his diary. Creepy. But Yuki becomes involved in his parents are divorced, and but he really wants to go stargazing with them, which I find is a sweet thing to do. Yuki becomes involved in the diary game, which Deus, his so-called imaginary friend, who's a god, is actually not imaginary and is a real god. And he turns out to be a real god and selects him to be one of the 12 contestants in the game. In a 90-day battle royale, where the contestants must kill each other using their special diaries. The last survivor becomes Deus' new heir. Yuki's diary is called the Random Diary, which is written from his point of view, gives a detailed explanation of their surroundings very accurately, whether it be in the present or the future. While versatile in any situation, the main disadvantage of the Random Diary is that the diary does not tell him what is happening to himself, which leaves him vulnerable. So, furthermore, since the diary is written from his point of view, Yuki can be tricked into thinking something he sees is true without realizing it, which is a disadvantage for people who use the Random Diary. Unlike most contestants, Yuki does not want to win this game. He just wants to live peacefully and does not want to kill anyone, like any superhero or hero would want. However, he's forced to play to survive, yet will only kill as a last resort. He is the main target by the other diary users, since Deus sees Yuki as his favorite to win. Because he is weak, in order to protect himself, he quickly makes friends and allies to help him, including Yuno Gasai, a girl in his class who is madly in love with him, and another diary user. Yuki is a kind person, yet is naive for quickly trusting people, whether they be for a friend or other diary users who may have ulterior motives. The most complex relationship he has is with Yuna. While Yuna is a formidable ally, her mad, obsessive love for him reaches to the point where she is willing to kill and use anyone so that both of them can survive. So let it be Yuki's best friend. If Yuno sees that person as a thorn in their side, Yuno will straight up kill Yuki's best friend just so the two of them can survive together. Crazy, I know. This scares him, yet despite the many things she does that shock him, including kidnapping him against his will and learning she killed her parents, Yuki still relies on Yuno in order to protect himself. What a bitch. No, I'm just kidding. Originally, Yuki's main goal was to find a way to end the game peacefully without killing anyone, but that goal quickly changes when during the middle of the game, his mother is accidentally killed by his father, who was later killed by the agents of John Bacchus, the 11th diary user. While he is grieving his parents' death, Yuno convinces him that he should win the game, and once he becomes a new god of space and time, he can bring them back. However, Yuno has a dark secret that she is not telling him yet, but it's all later revealed as you further progress into the anime. So basically, with this new goal, Yuki is determined to win no matter what, employing methods including lying, killing, backstabbing, and destruction. This dude killed his friends, the only friends he actually made in this anime. His new behavior shocks his friends as his and Yuno's actions cause a series of terrorist attacks across the city. Eventually, he would learn of Yuno's true origins and intentions. When he's pitted against her and Murmur, he claims to love her, and with help from Minane, he is capable of avoiding Yuno's attacks and later follow her to the third world, eventually reaching third world's Yuno's house, which, when she was being abused, prompts him to change her future by the extension of those of the other diary owners. So, I get what you guys are saying. First world, second world, third world. This is confusing, right? Yeah, I'll explain all of that in a second. But basically, we'll move on to Yuno Gasai, the second main character, and the madly obsessive stalker, creepy girlfriend of our main protagonist, Yuki Amino. But here is Yuno Gasai. So Yuno Gasai is the main female protagonist of this anime and the second diary user. Smart, beautiful, and diligent, to most students she is seen as the model student, but in reality, she is secretly obsessed with Yuki when he unknowingly gives her a sole reason to live for, and constantly stalks him. Having yandere tendencies, she is so obsessed with Yuki that she is willing to hurt or kill anyone who hurts him, and is constantly jealous if anyone other than her is getting close with Yuki. So obsessive was her love that she won't hesitate to sacrifice them, because to her, the only important thing is that she and Yuki survive the game. Her obsessiveness and possessiveness of Yuki is so extreme that she has no concern for anyone else's well-being. She frequently states to Yuki that he should not care about what happens to his friends. Her diary is the Yukateri diary, which basically, as the name, stalks Yuki's every move. So she would know what happens to Yuki, or what Yuki will do in 10 minutes. Because it only focuses on Yuki, her diary does not specify anything about her unless it has to do with Yuki. But by working together with Yuki's random diary, they are able to solve their diary's weaknesses. So if you combine the random diary with Yukiteri's diary, you get an OP 1 diary. Yuno's behavior was a result of her parents' behavior. They used to be loving parents before becoming demanding and pressuring their daughter to be a perfect citizen. Even lock her up in a cage and only allow her a certain amount of time for her to sleep and food for her diet. Their treatment drove Yuno crazy. It's so insane that she locked her parents in the same cage, hoping they would realize how she felt and change back to normal. However, they don't, and to hide her, but only for them to die of hunger. To hide her parents' death, she made a cover story that they were working overseas, but Yuki would later learn about this as well as the truth after Aru Akase investigated the bodies. Yuno's origins are further explored, revealing she originates from a first world where she the victor of the game, and was driven mad when she resurrected Yuki, but not his soul. This prompted her to travel to the second world where the current story took place, as she murdered the second world Yuno and took her place. When the truth of her identity is exposed, she time leaps, traveling to the past, and thus creates a third world to start all over again. But she is thwarted by Yuki and Minane when they follow her to the third world and change the terrible future of the contestants, including Yuno, and prevented the diary game from happening. Trapped, she comes to the belief that she was merely using Yuki and tries to rid herself of him by sealing him in an illusionary world using her godly powers. However, Yuki breaks free just as Yuno realizes she does love Yuki, and she kills herself to let him win the survival game. And then ends up the third world Yuno is able to find happiness and her parents are doing well. Later, first world Yuno's memories, which were kept by Murmur, were given to third world Yuno. With the help of third world Deus, third world Yuno broke the wall of space-time, connecting a path to 10,000 years later of second world, thus allowing Yuno and Yuki to reunite. They succeed after Deus and rule the third world together. So that is the story of Yuno Gasai and Yukiteri Amno. Those are the two main important characters in this anime. And I can't stress this anime enough. The time traveling thing got real confusing. But basically, here's how it happened. First world Yuno, they already had the diary game, the battle royale, the 90-day battle royale. Yuki and Yuno both were in it. Yuki and Yuno did not want to kill each other, but they were the last two remaining members who were still in the game. They were the two remaining contestants, so they only needed one to survive, or else they would both die and the universe would cease to exist. However, they agreed that they would kill each other, they would die at the same time, so they would die together, committing suicide by taking a couple of pills. However, Yuno, as crazy as she is in the first world due to her parents' treatment of her, Yuno does not see a point in dying, in killing each other, and both dying at the same time. So she fakes her death, and then thinks that she has the power, that once she becomes God, she has the power to bring Yuki back. However, after she becomes God, she tries to bring back Yuki. However, she only brings back his body, not his soul. And I find this to be weird because if you're a god, you should be able to do whatever you want. You should be able to have an immense amount of power and kill off a person and bring them back if you want to. But that's how this plot of this anime works. So basically, she travels to the second world, second universe, where she kills the current Yuno Gasai there. She basically kills herself there. And then takes over that Yuno Gasai's place. And then they start doing the battle royale again. But then thanks to his friends like Aru Akase, who's a high school student who wants to become a detective, they find out Yuno's dark secrets, and they find out that she is not the real Yuno she's saying to be, and then Yukateri ends up finding the truth and ends up telling her that she shouldn't do this, and then she ends up killing herself, and yeah. But that's basically how the time thing works. Now, overall, this anime really did confuse you and had a lot of plot holes. Like, one of the plot holes was the fact that the time space thing was really confusing. Like it just doesn't. This anime, there are times where it doesn't make sense. Like, for example, Murmur 1 retained powers after time travel, but Yuno didn't retain her god powers from winning the first tournament. The only explanation was she used it up during time travel, but she was able to travel to the third universe and still control Universe 2 Deus Core without even becoming god again. Despite Yuno having played the game once, she didn't seem like she had past memories of events from her monologue. Of course, she had shown to be able to erase her memories right from the start, but she didn't have much control until she kept her mind fucked. So, in the anime, Yuki couldn't have possibly escaped being tied up when his hands were tied like that. The manga version of this made more sense because he could still have moved some distance in those chains. Basically, this is the three of many plot holes in Future Diary. But the plot holes did not ruin this anime. The characters, I understood what they were trying to do. It ended up showing us that an unhealthy relationship can turn to true love. And that's what happened with Yuki and Yuno. So does this anime, is it worth your time? I say it is. There's only 26 episodes. It is worth your time. But do I think it's worthy of a Blu-ray rating? Probably not. There is an English dub and there's an English sub of the series, but overall I'll give this anime series a 7.9 out of 10. And close to a Blu-ray rating, but not yet. So I'll say it's a good time to watch if you're wanting to find a new anime to pique your interest. But what are other animes you should watch besides Future Diary? Steins Gate, and another one is Great Teacher Onizuka. But that's all I have for this anime review. If you enjoyed anything I had to say, drop me a like, and if you could subscribe, that would be amazing. And what did you guys think? Let me know what you guys think of Future Diary down below in the comment section down below, and you can write a short review about it too if you want. But I'm Kevin Ambrose, and talk to you guys later.